Hello musicians, my name is Corey Taylor from SkilledMusician.com, where we are helping musicians improve. Thank y'all so much for checking out today's video. Now today's video is part 2 of our 20 piano hacks. So if you haven't seen part 1, definitely you should go check it out. There's a lot of cool hacks there. Now today's hacks are a little bit more advanced than last week's, but you all can do them. So I've broken the hacks down into 2 big concepts, and then under each concept there's a lot of little small hacks. And for those that are new, I've put timestamps in the description box so you can easily find each hack you want to find. So also I've made sheet music for each of these hacks, and some of them I've actually taken through all 12 keys for you to make it easier. I've also created a MIDI file of the final demonstration. At the end of this video, I do a big demonstration where I show you kind of all the hacks put together. And so I created a MIDI file for that, so you can definitely check that out. And also, if you have not downloaded the lead sheet for our example song that we're using for all of these hacks, that link is in the description box as well. Lastly, definitely hit the subscribe button. You all are an amazing group of musicians, and we definitely want to continue to grow this community of musicians just like you. So definitely hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And if you've been here, definitely share these videos on social media. Let's continue to grow this channel. All right, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get started. So another piano hack is to add suspensions, resolutions, and just basically movement to your inner voices. Now it sounds like a difficult and a mouthful, but it's actually really, really easy. So what I want to do is I want to give you 2 options on major chords, and then kind of your own choice on dominant chords. So let me show you. So the first thing you want to do is look at your hands differently. And so what this requires you to do is to kind of think of your hands in 3 different zones. So you have your kind of root or your kind of bass zone. Then you have your inside voices, and then you have your melody, right? So here are 2 options I enjoy doing on major chords to add movement to the inner voices. All right, here's the first one. So whenever I have the 3rd on top, so if I'm playing an F major chord and the 3rd is on top of that chord, I like to do this. Do you hear that? So what that is? So what that does is, so we have this motion, and so we go from F major to like an F major 6, or if you're going to D minor, take it to D minor because it's the same notes. And F major 6 is kind of it doesn't change the sound so much that you wouldn't play it over just a regular F major chord. So I often do that. So I'm going from, right? So what am I playing internally? So I'm going. Now there are a couple ways you can think about how to get these notes. How did we get these notes? Well, one way I can think of it as I'm going to these notes, D and F, so I'm just surrounding them. You see? Another way you can think is, this really looks like D minor. So it's like I'm playing an A and then going to D minor. So A major and then D minor. Either way works. But the point is, in your right hand, you're going to play the sharp 11. So from F, sorry, not sharp 11, the sharp 5, sharp 5, sharp 5, 7, and 6. And your left hand, 7, 2, 1. So, and the way you want to play it is you want to play the alto voices first, and then the inner voice. Right? So that's one way. When the 3rd is on top, you can do this kind of move. Another way is when the 5th is on top. I'll often do this one as well. So what is that? This is kind of the idea of, the same idea of 5 to 1. So I'm playing F, right? And then I outline these notes. And this is just a C, these notes are C7. chord, which plays off the principle 5 to 1. So 5 chord, right? So another way to think of it is I have my notes in my F major triad and I'm just surrounding them again. So on this left hand, I want to go to A, so I play the note before it, the note after in the scale. So in the right hand, I'm going to F, so note before, note after, and then a note. You see that? So you see that? All right. So let's just kind of demonstrate a few of them. So here it is. Oh. Right? Did you see that? So that was the same idea. I just did it over B flat. So in B flat, I have the third on top. So I just went right to that one. So. Oh, sorry. Let's try it again. All right. Now, I'll also give you something I like to do to kind of add a little flavor onto it. It's just something small, but I like to, sorry. So, just kind of neighbor tone here. You hear it? So what I'm doing is, so really quickly, and so you can have fun with that melody, that internal melody, and just kind of mess around with it a little bit. Right, you see that? All right, so that's two options on major chords. So let me give you kind of my whole theory on dominant chords. All right, so on dominant chords, I like to do what I call changing tensions, which is, let's take a regular old C, let's do A7. So A7, right? So here's a dominant chord, A7. And this is cool, but we can start changing the tensions. Let's make it an A7 flat 9. You hear that? All right. Let's make it an A7 flat 9 with the flat 5. Different tension. Let's make it A7 sharp 9 sharp 5. You know. Let's make it A7 just sharp 9. Right? So you can change the tensions on these chords, on dominant chords, often. So let me give you some of my tried and true. I said I was only going to give you one, but I take that back. I'm actually going to give you a few things I like to do with dominant chords to change the tensions. All right, so let's say we're doing our song right here. So we're here. So I could play this regular A7. You know, that works. That's not the best sound though. So let's play it as A7 flat 9 flat 5. Do you hear that? All right. And let's change some of the tensions. So I'm gonna take this flat 5, I'm just gonna roll it down to make it just a regular flat 9. So flat 5. All right. So I'll play it in context. You hear that? Let's do another one. All right, so this is an A7 sharp 9 sharp 5 chord. And here's the A7 flat 9 flat 5 or sharp 11. And so, right. right? So I can go back and forth between the two, and it works really cool because they're both triads in the right hand. It makes it work really easily. So I'll do them again. Right? All right. Let me give you another one I like to do. And so all I'm doing is changing the tension notes. So are there particular notes I avoid? Maybe only the major 7. That's probably the only note I wouldn't play. But even at that, never rule is. These aren't. As my teacher said, this is music theory, not music truth. So even then, I'll still occasionally do it. Let me think of a case. All right, right. So I do this sometimes. So I do this. I'll have this upward moving. Sometimes I'll stop there. You see it? All right, keep going. Now we gotten past the melody, right? So I hope you're seeing what I'm doing. I'm just kind of moving from one tension to the other. So let's kind of break down the tension notes. So we have a regular A major, A7 is the G. Now here's a 9, B. So we can flat it, which makes it B flat, or sharp it, which makes it B sharp or C major inharmonically. I mean C inharmonically, or B sharp, right? So if I'm playing C7, I could add the flat 9 or the sharp 9. You see? So that's one option. So I could, do something like, right? So I did. Right. Another tension note is the 5. So we can flat it or sharp it. Right? So you can play with this. You hear that? That's a cool sound. All right. Another note is the 13. So adding that in there. And so what I'm doing, I'm just kind of moving towards these tension notes, just trying to see what melodically makes sense internally. And so you can really play with these and really have a lot of fun with them. And so yeah, I'll many times if I'm trying to do you see? All right. All right. Another way I like to move inner voices on a dominant chord. So I'm gonna give you 2. Let's take C major, or C7, sorry. I'll do this. So that's back to our original one that we initially did, the first one in F, but I'm doing it over a dominant chord. So the only difference is, instead of playing it as I would normally play it, I flat the 7 for C7, which is 4 in the key of F, but for C, because I'm in the key of F. You hear it? All right, so let me show you. So in our song, right there. So that's just a play off of the initial one I showed you. And so I'm just adjusting the notes to fit the chord. So this is C7, which has a B flat, not a B. So a B flat. Let me go back to the key, so F, the first one I showed you. Well, if we were playing F7, I would change it to be E flat, but in this case we're not. All right, so that's 2 ways over major chords and 2 ways over dominant chords that changed it tensions, add suspension and resolution, inner movement to your inner voices. And that's a really cool piano hack. So work on those, and let me see what you come up with. So make some videos where you're changing the tensions and doing these movements. There are a lot more movements, and tag me in them so I can see them. All right, so that's that. So another really cool piano hack that really adds interest and spice and just changes the sound of your playing is adding a left hand arpeggiated line of some sort. So I'm gonna give you my favorite line to add. In the key of F over F major, so the line is 1, 5, and then we go to the 2 or 9, 9, 3, 1, 2, 7, 1. So it sounds like this. Do you see that? Also going to B flat, E flat, or A flat. All right, so you get the idea. So how do I do it over our example song? Well, let's give it a try. I'm gonna take it a little slower so you can hear it. So here it is. All right, so you kind of get the idea of it. It adds it's a different style of playing, and so what you'll discover is when you're playing two-handed voices and you can use your left hand to feel harmonically there. In this kind of playing, you might have to add 1 or 2 notes more in your right hand, so 3 or 4 note chords in your right hand instead of maybe sometimes 2. So to feel the sound. You hear it? All right, cool. All right, so that's one of my all-time favorite left-hand lines. So definitely, grab it. There are plenty others. That's just one of my favorites that I like doing. But definitely work. Try to find your own even. But that's a great one. Another one. That's another one. That's kind of classic. Yeah. So it's kind of a classic one. This one, a little different. So it kind of has a different sound to it. But definitely that's a great way to add interest and color to your playing. So it's a great piano hack for you. So, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play it through the song, and just kind of play it how I would play it. And I'm going to try to point out on the screen where I utilize some of the techniques that we talked about. I'm going to try to utilize all of them, and I'll try to write on the screen everything I'm doing. Now remember, the whole point of this video is to get the small stuff. So there'll be some big stuff, like some chord you might want to know what it is, and I'll explain those in future videos. But the whole idea is to get this small stuff, because the small stuff really makes the difference in your playing. Whether you get the big chord or not, if you're able to do these small things like grace notes or inner movements, suspensions and resolutions, left hand lines, just kind of all of that really can transform your playing more than just playing the big fancy chord or the big fancy run. So without further ado, here goes. All right, pretty cool. So I hope you weren't overwhelmed by the number of hacks and ideas for you to learn. Remember, my whole philosophy is just get one down, master it, and then move on to the next one. You don't have to get them all by tomorrow. So just get one down really, really well. Also, definitely check out our new Instagram and Facebook pages if you haven't. They're pretty cool. And we'll be doing some Instagram Live, Facebook Live starting shortly. So stay tuned for that. Also, if you're new to this channel, definitely hit the subscribe button below so you can be notified when we upload new material. All right, again, my name is Corey Taylor from SkilledMusician.com, where we are helping musicians improve. So hopefully this video has helped you improve. So until the next one, be blessed and happy practicing.